Probably wondering what these two critters are doing side by side. It's Johnson's baby powder and sig butyrate low shrink dope. I mixed the two together, and it's real old school model airplane filler. As you can see, I got it here. I'm repairing the stabilizer in this Ringmaster that I started building in '92, finished it in '93, or maybe even late '91 I started. Plastered it in '93 when the wires broke. Don't fly with kinked wires on a control line, they will break. These did. And on the way home I grabbed a case of beer I used to drink at the time. Doctor, every time I go to the doctor he makes me give up one of my bad habits, so don't do that anymore. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The wings are smashed up, the tail was busted off. I'll see if I can slip a picture in the video there of the mess. And I put her together kind of half-assed, flew it again, broke it again, trying to do an outside loop. I took it home, did a proper repair job on the wings that time, but I only covered them with monocoat this time instead of using the silk span and dope. That's the new elevator I cut out for it. And I had it out last year, took it out to the Control Line Club in Edmonton. Of course, they gave me funny looks when they saw the fugly tail I had arrangement on here. I think I got the... Yeah. Give you an idea the hack job I did on this. Decided that last year to do it properly, and it's been sitting like this, so mixed up the filler for the new pieces of wood I had to put along the trailing edge of the horizontal stabilizer here. You see the cast from that damn bike accident. That's getting old, I'll tell you. And which I get sick of doing videos, believe it or not. So I use that dope and talcum powder mixture. You want a thick paste, but you don't want a dry paste. After you put a coat of dope on your bare wood, the repairs, I put some pieces in here. Then you can put the filler on over the dope. It doesn't work that well if you just put it on the bare wood. It's good to have a coat of dope under it first. So tomorrow, hopefully this will be dry enough, I can sand that. And because I'm using dope, you can't use that balsa filler that's available. It doesn't work well with dope. It even says so in the instructions for those of us who read them. So tomorrow I'll sand those down, and I think I'll do a video on the figure 8 thread. So I think I'll use the thread this time. That's what I did originally, but it wasn't strong enough. I kind of forgot you're supposed to do the 1/8 by 1/8 thing here, but I'll explain all that tomorrow, hopefully. Sanding down this filler I put on yesterday. Don't want to over sand it and create more craters either. But normally, if it was a new model, just fixing nicks and dings and stuff, it sometimes happens when you're building. I'd go ahead and put another coat. So I've seen up to 2 or 3 before you finally get it where you want it. But this old buzzard's been around the block a few times, so I'm just going to give her one, call it good. Hopefully I don't blow too much of that sanding dust into the camera. There. Now, some places could probably use another coat. Like I said, Not doing a museum restoration on this bird or nothing, so. Quick rub over with some 400. And call it good. Okay, there you go. Nothing fancy, you know, it's not the, like I said, normally I'd, although this one, I feel a little bit there, but, so I'm not, just getting this buzzard a little more presentable, and doing a proper repair on it. So, yeah, it looks alright, worked pretty good. But like I say, this was a new plane. I definitely go over this one more time. Catch the little tiny nicks, and as you might know, you never catch it the first time. But that's good enough for me. I'll flip her over and get the other side now. Okay, I got my elevator clamped in place. I'm just using popsicle stick top and bottom with these little clamps. If you don't use the popsicle sticks, you'll leave a bruise or a dent in your wood. Alrighty, we get going here. Some making thread hinges. A 4 beat up control line Ringmaster here. So I'm just drilling the holes for the thread. Using five and plus an extra one for starting the thread through. I use a drill bit just big enough to get the thread through twice. Forget what size this one is, it's less than a 16th. Okay, one end of this thread I'm going to use has been hardened up with CA glue, so I don't need a needle to pull it through. And the other end, I'm going to tie 2 knots in it. Because one knot, it'll just go right through the bloody hole. So we'll put trick is trying to get them right together. Now, just the first hole is simply to get the thread into the wood and nothing else. And I'll give it a little dab of medium CA. Hold that bad boy in place. And our little Buddha kicker. And on the underside, I'm going to go from his hole straight across into the one right next to it. Then I'll start my figure 8. Okay. Down between the two control surfaces. Nope. Don't want to pull that too tight. This balsa's only got so much strength in it. And having the mispleasure in the past, it will crush the balsa if you go too tight. But you don't want it sloppy loose either. Now, the half A stuff, that'd be good enough. Then you just go back and forth till you get to the end. I'm doubling this each thread hinge up, so I'm going to get this through the same hole twice. And up in the hole next to it. Try that again. There we go. Go between the surfaces again. Trying to do this with a broken bone in your right hand is makes it a little more challenging. This happens when you fall off your motorcycle or get knocked off, whatever the case may be. There. Go through again. Now I get a double thread in both sides. I'm going to come through that first one. If there isn't quite enough room, you can take a pin through the hole you already passed. I'm going to try it first. You don't want to send a drill bit through there after you put the thread through it already. And there she goes for the third try. The hole you started in. Now, I'm going to go from that, I'm going to jump straight over, and that'll keep my threads nice and straight without the zigzag going on. Do a little tug, not too hard, like I said, you don't want to dig into the balsa. jumped over. As you can see, I started here, and I got these holes, 5 in a row, because that's just what I want on it anyway. Then I drilled an extra hole here to start it, put a couple of knots in it, glue it in place, and that way you don't have to worry about interfering with any of this with CA. I got the figure out 8, so I got 2 threads on each side. I had to go through this hole the 3rd time. As you can see, then I jumped over into this hole, and I'll do it again. And you'll probably notice as you do it, you'll be going back and forth. When I get to the end, then I drill the last hole and CA it off. Keeping the CA away from this is a really good idea. These things do take a while. So this is the last pass. I got one more hinge after this. I'm being real careful to keep the glue away from those hinges. One more. Done. You always tell the first one, it's kind of fugly. There's, I don't know if you can see that, but the threads went in a little bit to the balsa. That's one of the things you gotta watch out for. And there's the second one, a little better. And the third, a little buggered up on that. But I haven't done this for maybe 20 some years. There's the last one. I changed the method a bit, like I said earlier. Drill the extra hole, put the thread in it, seal it. That way I don't have to worry about glue, CA in these woven areas here where it will break. And did the figure 8. I jumped over to the next one rather than crossing over. Like you would if you're doing the hinge on a half A size RC plane. And worked good. And in the end, same thing, brought the last one through the top here, drilled another little hole, put it down through, a little bit of CA, keeping it away from here. And you'll notice we get a little end play, which is fine. Once you dope these threads up, they're not going anywhere. They'll stick right to that wood. And I always clamp the elevator straight like I do with the clamps and the brain fart popsicle sticks. Bumping the head did more than I thought. There you go. I used, as you can see, 3 per side, so I got 6 hinges there. And that's pretty nice. That will not break. You know, I forgot over the years just how much this stuff stinks. But, you know, it's a good old school way of doing these things up. Okay, I got the popsicle sticks on there. I'll let that dope dry. So you can see the elevator can still move. These popsicle sticks got a nice little warp. It'll keep the thing straight, but it ain't gonna stick to the popsicle stick. You can slide it. It's still a little tacky, which dope doesn't stay tacky very long. You can stick a piece of wax paper in here or something, or saran wrap. I got the clamp on the finished end of the stabilizer, so let that dry overnight, because I've pretty much had it for tonight. And tomorrow I'll give her a little sand, maybe get rid of some of this black paint that me and Budweiser got on there many years ago, and put a couple of coats of Sig Butyrate Orange on there, and that'll be it for this video and the quickie repair. Well, not so quickie using this, but I think this is going to be great. And next video I'll do, I'll put the GoPro on my head and we'll fly this thing. Okay, we get night 3 on this free hinging project. So I just took those popsicle sticks off I had there. It's a little stiff. You give it a couple little swings and everything loosens up. And the reason why I make sure these edges are lined up good is because once it dries, you'll find that there's zero end play this way. It's tight as can be. See, we got that, and I cannot move the end play at all. Fixed. That's one coat of butyrate low shrink I got on the on this with the hinges. That's the second coat for the elevator and any of the other bare balls that might be around. I don't know, I might just hit her with the orange now, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm really happy with those hinges. Good enough for this old buzzard anyway. Okay, there she is. Put a coat of orange dope on there. Yeah, it's kind of sketchy looking, but that's only the first coat. So I'll be putting on at least one more. Again, I'm not going into the big I'm just doing what's adequate on this plane. Like I said, it's been around. It's just getting what's required to get her back into ship shape. I mean, the dope that's on it's going to be plenty. It'll be fuel proof and everything. And it's actually looks a hell of a lot better than it used to. I'm using a popsicle stick clamped to the fuselage just to keep the elevator straight while the dope dries. I don't want to clamp on the end, of course. It's just been painted, so to speak. And the ends are pretty good on her. So the threads look like, or your hinges look like after they've been doped up. A little bit of a gap there, but you're going to have that anyway. And that's it. Now, if I wanted to, that's not too pretty, but it's orange. Gets weathered a bit, it'll be fine. If I wanted it real pretty, I would have sprayed it, but as you can see, this bird is a little beyond getting stupid. Which, by the time, if I want to go to town on her, by the time I got it looking pretty, I could have built another one. I do have another kit for this one. It's a original Sterling kit, and it's in the original wrapper's still in the box. So the way collections are going nowadays, I might just leave it. I see there's some outfits in the U.S. that are reproducing these planes. So anyway, other than throwing a elevator horn on her, she's done.